drinking fountains and there's stairs for exits in case of, fire or emergency. And I'll let them do their own introductions. So I'll pass it over to you guys. Greg's our man.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be here today. I'm Greg Reisner. I'm one of the originally founding members with John Mim from John's Paranormal. We're from Iowa City-ish area. Brian's from Coronado, and Jen's from
Clarence.
a smaller town.
Yeah.
We're going to be playing a few clips, 3 clips from previous investigation, just to kind of get the things juices flowing, I guess you could say. Then we're going to get into our debut things. We're going to break it down into teams, John and Jen's team, what they found, and then Brian and myself's team, what we found. And so I guess let's cue things up, right?
Yeah, and I was going to clarify, I don't know if you said, for anybody who wasn't aware of the sign-up process, we did do a paranormal investigation at the library last weekend. So,
Yes,
so
I just want to get right into it.
no, I guess I didn't
Yes,
clarify. Yeah, so these folks were here last weekend. There were some people who put their names in a hat, and got to come along. Hey there, come on in. Who got to come along on the investigation. So some of what I'll be showing you today will be a part of that.
What hour of the day?
We did that from 7 to 9 p.m. last Saturday.
7 to 9 p.m.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so some of our folks who came along are in the audience today, so might have
Usually
some.
the hecklers.
Yeah, some of us exorcists, we have favorite hours.
Oh, all right.
3 o'clock in the morning. Right.
So how can we?
Yeah, is it? You try. Shutting out? That'll work. 2 doors? Is that all right? Now can you see the remote?
That's the question.
Here, let me flip it on real quick.
Maybe I want to go to menu. Ta-da! There it goes. Okay.
So this is the outside of it.
You all seen this before? Over here, right? Okay, John would like to introduce our first piece of.
Right, we're just going to start off with a bang here because this is probably the juiciest piece of evidence we've ever gotten in the last 8 or 9 years. Small business, North Liberty, Iowa, just North Iowa City. Anytime a client reports certain things occurring, it's really exciting if you can go to the place and actually capture what they were talking about, say on camera or on audio. In this case, she said that she had a couple of doors, one in the basement, I think one for upstairs that would be closed, and then she'd come in the next day and they'd be open. And if you look close here, this is an old painted latch here. I mean, one of those heavy old time, spring latch. And we were up in the kitchen, we just set a camera just on that door in case something would happen. Now, at the time, all the lights were on in the kitchen. We had team members up here. You'll see we've actually got a team member in between the camera and the door for a while. And are you going to play it, Greg? And then we're just going to watch what happens. Because
Yeah.
he's going to move out of the way. And then we'll have you.
What?
We'll see what goes on.
Where's that at? The one I really like is. It's got colors in here.
It's not as bad as this.
Did you see that?
I just saw that. Did that just open up?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we had it closed, right?
Yeah.
You got the camera rolling,
Yes, the camera's rolling. That door just
Sweet.
opened. What's that? Yeah, it's on camera.
happen.
So we play it again there, John, let's see.
So yeah, let's do it again.
And where's that at? The one I really like is. It's got colors and everything.
Yeah. It's not as bad as this.
Did you see that?
I just saw that. That just opened up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we had it closed, right?
Yeah.
You got the camera rolling,
Yes, the camera's rolling. That door just
Sweet.
opened. What's that? Yeah, it's on camera.
Pause that there.
So it's not like we all took off running out of the building or anything when that happened, but it was really exciting though. I mean, matter of fact, we couldn't replicate it.
True. Angie, I think we will need the volume up a little bit more. But I'm going to be talking about, this is one of our newest investigations that we did probably a couple, 3 months ago. The owners did want us to tell you where it's at or whatever, so we just kind of went with the Northern Iowa County Rest Home type thing. But the reason I really love this video is I'm shooting video with the camcorder, and we're going down the hallway. And we're going to the different side of the building itself, and we pause for a second to, we think we hear a noise. And we're right by a stairwell. So at the 4-second mark, we hear a little bit of a noise coming down the stairwell, so we all kind of look. And I think Jen goes to investigate, and a few others go to investigate. While I'm holding the camera off to the side, an orb comes out of the door area to where we were heading. And I say something that Jen thinks she found out what had made this noise. And I'm like, oh, really? And then we can hear a voice say, uh-huh. So at the 4-second mark, 43-second mark, and 55-second mark. I know it's a lot to take in, but I'm going to play it twice, so hopefully you'll get kind of adjusted to it from the beginning. So let's roll it and see where we can go from here.
You still smell it?
A little bit, don't you? Is it?
Was it flush before?
Okay, I know you possibly saw the little orb down at the bottom, but it's kind of hard to hear the voice a little bit. It was just kind of a,
Female?
It
Like a
seemed like a
young
little
female?
girl's voice. What's
Sounded
that?
like a young female?
It did. What was kind of weird is just going down this hallway and something throwing our attention off, and we're still rolling while it's sliding beyond us, so it just kind of a way to throw us off track, I guess you could say. So let's go ahead and give you one more time just to see. We'd like to play everything twice, so that way you can kind of.
You still smell it?
A little bit, don't you? Is it?
Was it flush before?
All right. So I thought that was kind of interesting. I thought I would share that with everybody. And the smell, the thing is, when we came out of the one particular room, we thought we smelled perfume. Jen could attest to it, and I thought I smelled it again right there, and I'm like, that's why I kind of paused a little bit. We're gonna have Brian talk about the Abbey Center.
So we were fortunate enough to have free reign of the Abbey Center in Marion, which was a closed down, used to be like a rest home. Then it was vacated, and then the county sheriffs, I guess, they kind of took it over, and they used it as like training for like police training. So we got to go out there about 3 or 4 times, and it was mainly a matter of just wanting to get out there to kind of train ourselves on it. We hadn't heard anything, any activity before we went. It was mainly a matter of just trying out the equipment, and working as a group, seeing what we could do, and we ended up finding things each time we went. So that was pretty nice. So one of the clip we're going to show is we had a stationary camera set up, just kind of pointing at one of this is a nurse's station, and this right up in here is a pane glass, and down here is one of the
Oh, there
hallways.
was no glass there.
Sorry?
There wasn't any glass there.
There wasn't any glass
No,
there?
it's
Okay.
just open air.
Even better. So there's, no glass right there, but that's the nurse's station there. The place was abandoned, so but it seemed to be abandoned in a hurry. We never quite heard what the story was. It seemed like people just left work on a Friday and never came back almost in a way. And then with all the stuff that the police department kind of did with their training exercises, you would have like blank casings all over the place, and different things turned over. It was a little surreal to walk through, sort of like, if you're on The Walking Dead or something, and you just kind of stumble into an abandoned house. But yeah, there's a huge sprawling place, 4 wings that it would take us all night to get through it all. But I don't remember which wing this was in, but you can kind of keep your eye on the nurse's station. We have some video there.
So like again, we'll play this again twice, but at the 17-second mark, you'll hear like a clicking sound. And at about the 22-second mark, where Ryan was pointing.
Yeah, right in kind of this corner, you can kind of see a little bit of a shape kind of materialize and move off to the side. So about that 22?
21.
Yeah, about the 22nd mark, it kind of just a little bit tough to see, but you'll see something kind of materialize and move past this way. And there's a noise that comes out just rises up and then moves off to the side.
Yes. All right. Now we're going to get to the Dubuque stuff. We came into town yesterday, Jen and I came in at about 3 o'clock. We met with Angie to see kind of where we could go and couldn't go as far as, could we go to the basement? Is there, an attic here? Where can we go? Type thing. So she took us to different floors. We did go down to the basement. We did run some audio and some video there as where we could, but we don't have anything from there, which was amazing because even with Brian's girlfriend, had feelings down there too, and even I had felt something too, and so it's like, this is going to be perfect. This is it. but nothing came out of it, which was running for about 3 hours time, so that kind of sucked. But we did have other cameras rolling. This first clip I want to show you is from Aaron, which couldn't be here today. He had several cameras set up in different positions. He had this one position like right at the front door on the second floor that was pointing towards the checkout desk. And he had something at the 16-second mark. He's going to come up later to change the camera, but the camera just tilts a little bit. And what was weird after looking at the video too is you can kind of see, because they had a display going on during that time last week, you can kind of see a reflection in like one of the pictures there, that something was kind of swaying back and forth, like something was blowing or something was moving. But this camera does tilt. And I'll play that twice too for you. At the 17 seconds. And then Aaron came up, 30 seconds later to move his camera. How it moved, why it moved, I don't know. And let's show it to you again real quick.
There's a little noise.
Weird. Unexplained. That's why we bring it to you.
Yeah. Someone might say, the thing that's moving on the side could be an air draft or whatever, but a camera, if it's gonna drop, generally doesn't come back up. So,
Good point. Good point.
yeah.
Now we're going to break into the groups. Jen's going to talk about her videos, and her first one is going to be the Flash.
Okay, yep, this was on the second floor, downstairs in the genealogy room. Looks like there's some microfiche machines and some computers and stuff in there. On the right side, it'll be probably about here. There's going to be a bright flash, and I'll let you guys decide what you think about it.
So yeah, it's going to be kind of quick,
It's
and I
gonna be
do
kinda
play it
quick.
twice, so
Yeah, but just kind of look in this general area up here.
here we go.
See it? And so like if you blink, you miss it.
There wasn't nobody else taking a picture somewhere else on that floor?
See, and that's the thing. At first I'm like, well, if it was a picture, the whole room would have lit up. And from what I understand, there was no one around at
And that was, the camera was like in the door shooting.
the time. Right.
So I was asking her, I said, was it something from a car going by? But I don't know.
Headlights from a car driving by or something?
Yes.
I don't know. There is a window there, but
Right.
There's
it
one.
being, is that on the right level for a car though? I mean,
Yeah.
it's,
It's like there's one window in the room. The blinds are shut just like that, and they are here. And it was, if it was a car driving by, I don't see it because I mean you see, like you've all seen at night cars driving, you see it kind of, and then it just kind of. This was just a real quick flash.
well, let's see it again then.
I have just no explanation for that.
Good point. So then the next one's the computer on and off.
Okay. There are two computers that my camera is facing. They were off. This tape is a 2-hour tape, and it was off. There was no one in the room. No one came in or out of that room the entire time the tape was running. And the computer was off the entire time. There was nothing to disturb it. And then it just like pops on and then like pops off again. And there's nothing on the screen to show like any updates or anything. It's just a blank screen that you like say you moved your mouse and the screen would pop on, but then it shuts back off again really quick.
All right, let's see. Because she had that a few different times on the video, but the reason I like this is because usually when you're sitting at home and your screen goes into like sleep mode or whatever, you usually mess with your mouse to get the screen back up, and I'm like, holy cow, that's what it kind of looks like instead of just going off for a minute and then coming back on and then, so that, I found that interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
So, let's see again.
I don't know, I have no explanation for that. That's really the only time they did that. So, not sure.
How's your, the order one that it stacks?
Okay. Right now, this next one is gonna be when we were downstairs on the first floor. And we were in the corner by the, I don't know if that's the witchcraft books or the ghost books. We were in the corner where, one of our members had an experience down there. We were sitting there and we were, trying to get something to happen. And I basically had my camera running the entire time. I never shut it off. So, we were just sitting there and I just had it up and you see an orb come by and it's just gonna kind of float through there. And it's pointed at some books. So go ahead and see that.
Yeah.
And is there a little bit of light?
Yep.
Or are you doing night vision or what?
Yeah.
It just kind of, yeah, like Rick said, it kind of flashes a little bit.
Kind of over by Davenport, which is looking for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was about 2 second mark. You can kind of see it flash in. That was maybe kind of interesting.
Mhm.
So let's do that one again.
Yeah.
And is there a little bit of light?
Yep.
Or are you doing night vision or what?
I mean, there's nothing really to, we had no lights flashing. There really shouldn't be any reason why it would do that, but that's kind of a cool thing when they flashes.
Right. John, did you want to talk about the EVPs?
Sure.
I would have no idea in reference because this being from the other group or whatever, but there is a voice at the 39-second mark. Maybe once we play it through, maybe you can kind of tell where you were at that time.
Sure.
But it seems like there's some activity.
Well, there's definitely a temperature shift in here. Did you feel that?
74 out there, it's 70 in here.
Yeah, definitely.
We just got Sam on the hobby list. Her name is Sam.
Right here. 132, 1.
Her name is Sam.
Can I see this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it feels cold. It's really cold right Right, so yeah, they're discussing getting a name over the Ovilus. That's one of our little boxes that kind of works with different radio frequencies and all.
No, that's not the same.
It's not the one, it's the one that just
No.
blurts out words, right?
Yep.
And some of them are like really random and sometimes they're not. But yeah, they were discussing where a name had come up. And
I guess my
I heard that
question-
little whisper too.
My question for you guys is I heard like something at 23, it sounded like it good, but I don't know if that was coming out of Jen's box or not, whether it came up on there. But maybe you can kind of hear that at 23, just like, good.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't, it seemed out of context, but I don't know if you could hear like the 39-second mark, seemed like, kind of, or kind of a breathy. So let's try that one again.
Well, there's definitely a temperature shift in here. Did you feel that?
74 out there, it's 70 in here.
Yeah, definitely.
We just got Sam on the hobby list. Her name is Sam.
Right here. 132, 1.
Her name is Sam.
Can I see this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it feels cold. It's really cold right
I think that last one was my obvious.
Where it said good.
The very last thing that sounded like might have been, I think that was my obvious.
Yeah.
the, I don't know, the last thing that, like right before it just quit, there was like a voice or something. I think that was my obvious, but I don't know about the other one.
Yeah, that kind of brings up a good point too, because when I was going over my audio, using the new Sony recorder, I was really happy with the quality. I mean, I was hearing the team a floor below us and all the, you know, even the little 3D modeling, but I could hear that. I could hear everything really clear, but there was a time we'd asked a question, can we have your name? And I thought I heard yes, and then right away they said, well, it just said castle, you know, because it verbally says. So there's sometimes having a little piece of equipment like that, unless you really clarify if something came out of it, you know, we're not sure either. You know, was that a disembodied voice or was that a piece of equipment? You know, so that's something that was a little new to me to have to worry about going through audio, not only us or something else, but maybe a piece of equipment.
Yeah, and Jen's usually good at tagging that. It's like, oh, Castle came up or whatever, and I didn't hear any of that, so I'm like,
Yeah.
it must not be. So
Yeah.
it's one of those kind of.
I think I will give the team that piece and we'll check it out because I think it's worth learning something anyway too, how to handle that in the future.
This next one is seems like it's a woman's voice saying good at the 19-second mark, so let's see if it rings a bell.
Hey, Jen. Jen.
Oh, yeah, no, I haven't either, actually. That's really strange usually. What's up?
I just heard something over here. I
Where?
don't know what it was. I don't know exactly where.
Hello? Is there anybody here with us? We'd love it if you came out and talked with us and interacted with us.
See, that's what makes it tough because I don't know whether it could be Sandy, but it just kind of heard the putt sound coming out there as a 19-second mark. But this is so light. That's what's terrible about this. Showing it to you, it's good to get it out there, but when I have my headphones on, it sounds, oh my gosh, this is great. But then I can play it for you, it sounds like.
Well, but you gotta admit though, I think the quality's really good today with the speakers and all the volume. I mean, we've done presentations before where, you know, you can't really hear much, so.
That is true.
But
true,
the
yes.
bottom line, we've had really juicy audio in the past, and we never can agree on nothing. It's like, you don't hear that.
That is true,
So it's
too.
always subject to debate.
Yeah, let's give it another shot.
Hey, Jen. Jen.
Oh, yeah, no, I haven't either, actually. That's really strange usually. What's up?
I just heard something over here. I
Where?
don't know what it was. I don't know exactly where.
Hello? Is there anybody here with us? We'd love it if you came out and talked with us and interacted with us.
A little bit, a little bit. And this last one is with Sandy and Jen talking, because it sounds like they're like, have you had anything for a while? Then it sounds like there's a voice that comes in here, about 6 seconds. It's kind of a short one, but.
Are you feeling anything, Sandy?
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
No, I haven't felt anything for a little while.
Since Jen is here, does that, I don't know if you remember the circumstances
Yeah, I don't remember saying that.
or maybe even Sandy saying that, or?
Yeah, play it again.
Yeah. Are you feeling anything, Sandy?
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
No, I haven't felt anything for a little while.
John in the background. But yeah, that's what it kind of caught me on. It was just kind of, it seemed out of context.
Yeah.
So that's
I
why.
think it was Sandy, because she was speaking.
Because it overlaps. Yeah, it overlaps the end of it, yeah, you can hear he's one of
catches of audio or just you're having a little bit of conversation, maybe not even related to what we're doing. And then some voice will come in out of nowhere it's not you, it's not me.
Yeah.
It's not always tell us your name and how did you die and all this, grandiose stuff. But,
If it were that easy, everybody would be doing it.
that's right.
But yeah, it was pretty much a test for me because I know Sandy's voice, I know Jen's voice, I know John, but just the other people in the group, it's like, God, it doesn't sound like any of them, but if I pass it along to them, does this sound familiar? So it's kind of a good test for myself too, I guess you could say.
Well, that's a good example of, how closely we try to listen to our audio. You've got headphones and you shouldn't be like surfing Facebook and shopping. You gotta be just have your notepad and sit down and go back and it's pretty amazing sometimes what little bits you can pick up.
Very good. That's all we have for their group, so we're going to go on to our group that we had. Laura, did you want to come up or you want to pass?
I can talk.
Okay.
Yeah, come on up.
Come on up if you would. Because you got 3 of your pictures, or maybe you can just talk about what's
That's awesome.
kind of going on here.
Yeah, I got scratched that evening, which is not something I've had happen before. I've done different, I don't know if I investigations enough, but my friend Phil and I found a couple different places, locations, and I get feelings, but I've never been scratched or been tugged at or had my hair pulled, but there was an area in the fiction section back there which I don't usually go into when I come to the library, usually from the stacks and history area, and went back there, got a really heavy, bad feeling, sat down in a chair, and I kind of just lost time. I didn't know how long I was sitting there. I was extremely tired when I got up, and as I was walking away, I got super hot. Like, I was taking out my scarf, and I was just really, really warm. I was flushed, and then my arm, felt like it was on fire. So then I came back around and kind of joined with the group, pulled up my sleeves to kind of air out, and then I saw I had a long scratch along my arm, and then 2 more little ones. I didn't feel that happen at all. And it was like, you can't really see it in the photo, but the skin was raised, so when you scratch yourself hard, it's little bits of white skin come up, and it was hard enough to do that, but I never felt anything except being super, super hot.
Nice. Thank you. I didn't know if this was, like you said, a common occurrence or not.
No, never.
You didn't feel anything when you went home, right?
No.
So it didn't go with you or?
No.
Okay, now this is where we pull up the ghost hunters thing saying, the library is not haunted, it doesn't have demons or whatever. It's just something that wanted to get Laura's attention and it just happened to scratch her. So the library is a very nice place to go. So, and we're not going to tell you where it happened either, so you're going to go down there.
She had a sweater on too.
Yeah.
That's kind of.
Yeah, I had a long sleeve
She had
shirt
a long
on.
sleeve.
So there's a little video here that I haven't taken, Phil and I, right Phil?
Yeah, you got it, yep.
Right on. I was shooting a video, Laura had just got scratched, and Phil's like, I know I felt something down there, so I'm like, okay, he was behind me a little bit, but I was taking some video, and I was going down there, and I felt something, I'm like, hello, is something here? And I just kind of rolled some video, and that's when Phil came in and started getting some readings, so I want to play a little bit of that video. Then I also have a photo I'll show you after that. So let's roll that video footage. Somebody here? Light up this meter.
This is where it happened, point six already.
I know because I felt it.
Yeah, I feel it too when I come back here.
Yeah, it felt like it brushed on my head.
Oh really? I got goosebumps right now all up and
Yeah.
down my back.
So just when all this was happening, I can't tell the time frame whether it was from a few seconds later or whatnot, but somebody had taken a picture. I want to show you that picture. Aaron had taken that picture, and you see us both standing there. But I don't know if you can see that, but he pointed it out to me that I have something right above my head.
You said it brushed into it.
Yeah, that's what I told him in the video. It's like, I felt something brush my head. And obviously there's something above my head, so I'm like, could it be? Dun dun dun.
The next day, I even walked around the building to see if there's security cameras on the outside to see if anything was
Right.
affecting anything. There's no security cameras on that side right there.
And what
That section
Aaron-
that you're in?
what Aaron was wondering
Every
about
time I
is
walk
like
back in that
this.
section, I
How that's
got
got
the
a double
DVG.
image.
There's an author that writes books on witchcraft.
Really?
It is a nice sign, but it's just a plain
Yeah.
English sign. Angie would know, she's our library consultant.
Which one? I would know what?
Then it's kind of weird, like this exit sign. It almost looks like it's a double image, possibly. You know, because you look at like the regular exit sign, it just looks like the regular exit sign with that. I don't know. Possibly.
Right here, I don't know if it's a reflection of the notes there.
Oh, really?
You don't really see that on any of the others.
Anyway, yeah, that's a pretty decent example of an orb over Greg's head, and we've captured a lot of those in the past. That's really, I mean, up in the air what the heck if it's anything, you know. Some people say it's dust or, I just know sometimes when we get them and there's like different colors to them and different kind of like how solid some of them seem to be. It's just something to think about. But yeah, orbs is a really big thing.
So Brian, we're gonna go to the EVPs now.
Okay.
Well, I'll just do the first one. At the 8-second mark, we're heading, our team has just started out, we're heading downstairs. It's like 2 seconds into the audio recording. And you hear some people talking or whatever, but there's a sound that comes out like a person saying either water or wire or something along that line, which kind of like doesn't sound normal. But give it a listen at about the 8-second mark.
That's not always a good sign, is it?
I'm Amy.
I also heard something before that too, kind of a whisper at the beginning. I don't know if anyone else heard.
Now, I had water bottle that evening, and I actually asked her if she
We were
wanted
just
my
talking about
water
this.
as we were coming down the steps, but
If that's at
that
the
wasn't
very
me at
beginning,
the 2
after
second
we
mark.
left this room and went downstairs.
But do you make a voice like that?
No,
That's what I was wondering, because
No.
like water.
no.
Or even sounds like
No, I was
wire.
asking her if she wanted my water, but that wasn't my voice.
Oh, okay. Okay,
You're
thank
gonna say,
you.
I don't wanna carry it, no, you don't wanna carry it.
I was like, I don't want to carry it, and she's like, I don't want to carry it either, and apparently that's when
Well,
it wasn't me though.
give it a little listen again.
here.
That's not always a good sign, is it?
I'm Amy.
I guess that maybe just goes that, I guess Ghost gets thirsties too, I guess. Something. This is a spirit box one with John. Yeah. At the 7-second mark, we got his name so often that I don't know what particular time this is, but I'm sure should be able to pick it out. There's 3 of you here. What are your names?
John.
John
again.
And this is a box that, it'll say something and then it displays the word.
No, it doesn't. It's just the radio, scanning the radio
There's the other
frequency.
one. Oh, okay.
The spirit box. One more time. There's 3 of you here. What are your names?
John.
John
again.
That's what's pretty amazing, because usually when we use this, you never can really hear it decently enough say, yeah, that's John. Going along with the names here, we had the name Catherine come up, which is kind of, it's at the 6-second mark, but there's not a lot of talking around it, so you should be able to hear it, but it's light. And it is a woman's voice. I do believe.
What is your name? Catherine. Does anybody else hear that? Catherine?
I heard Kathy.
Kathy or Catherine?
Whether that's relevant to somebody that maybe worked here, somebody like to come here, but Catherine came out pretty plain and simple, so let's play that one again.
What is your name? Catherine. Does anybody else hear that? Catherine?
I heard Kathy.
Kathy or Catherine?
Now this next one is like one that was particularly in our group, and this is one of those that I really like to just hear the reaction when they hear their name come through the spirit box. And it's not you yet, Angie, but we're getting to that one after this. But this was Megan, and it was Laura was giving the spirit box to Angie to tell her how to use it, but then Megan's name came out of it.
So what do I do here? Hold on to it? Just hold on to it? And if you're going to ask something, give it a good 30 seconds in between, so if there's something, we can capture it. Okay.
Oh my God, I just heard my name.
What?
I just heard it say Megan. I'm not even kidding.
I thought it said baby.
Anyway.
Well, I thought, well,
Lori, Tara.
she's pregnant too, so I thought it was
So that was kind of interesting into itself. So we'll do that one more time at 15 seconds.
So what do I do here? Hold on to it? Just hold on to it? And if you're going to ask something, give it a good 30 seconds in between, so if there's something, we can capture it. Okay.
Oh my God, I just heard my name.
What?
I just heard it say Megan. I'm not even kidding.
I thought it said baby.
Anyway.
Interesting. I've never heard my name come out of it. That's fine. This next one's going to be Angie. So this is, it's kind of funny how this one comes up because they're not actually saying, say Angie's name, and they're kind of like, who's this lady sitting here? She's got a name tag on.
Was this when we had about 10 minutes left of the night? And,
Yes.
And we asked them if you want to say anything to us, now's your chance, and the only
Yes.
thing they said was her name.
Yeah. Even though it's kind of, I don't know if you really hear like Angie, but it's just kind of, and we just kind of, but hey, we'll see. We'll let the.
What's the name of the woman holding the radio right now?
Do you know my name?
It's right on her name tag. Can you say it for us? Angie.
Oh my God, I heard that.
I just love the reaction. I love, oh my God. And what do you think, Angie? Does it sound like it? Okay.
Because I couldn't hear it in the moment,
Yeah.
but
That's why.
I want to hear it.
Well, let's hear it again then.
What's the name of the woman holding the radio right now?
Do you know my name?
It's right on her name tag. Can you say it for us? Angie.
Oh my God, I heard that.
Maybe it is the speakers. It does sound a little bit better than what I actually had at home.
A lot of people call me Ange in my family, so.
Oh, there you go. Mystery solved.
Then I didn't tell, I don't know if but we got, one of the girls in our group was named Sam, and we got
Yeah, we kind of heard that through the one.
Yeah.
This last one here is kind of an interesting one. It's back a little further down within our 10-minute frame, but there's a couple things that come through that's kind of humorous a little bit, but it's going to kind of lead up to the big ending here.
John, you still with us? He's dead.
We know that.
We know you're dead, John. How many of you here? How many here now?
Three.
Three.
So three, huh?
So we kind of got that same consensus, the whole three thing going on. And it was just kind of funny that it comes through and says he's dead. I want to play it one more time, and then just a few ending comments.
John, you still with us? He's dead.
We know that.
We know you're dead, John. How many of you here? How many here now?
Three.
Three, huh?
That's what always made it kind of interesting about this whole thing. We kept getting the name John at least how many times? Three or four times. 3 or 4 times. And when we were asked how many people are on it, always came back to seem to be about 3.
And his voice was always the same on that spirit box too.
Yep. Yeah. Which I wanted to lead up to is like, not saying I have any like abilities or powers or whatever, because Kat, our friend that is a psychic, she said, you have no powers whatsoever. But during the middle of last week, I guess it would be, leading up a couple days to this, I'd only been to the library here once. That was to meet Angie saying, hey, maybe we can do a presentation here, it'd be great. And we met in this room. This is the only time. But during that time, I kept thinking, the number 3 kept popping into my head, and I kept seeing, a man on this level that just kind of wanted to be on his own and didn't want to bother anybody whatsoever. And I saw, I had a vision of a lady that was down at the checkout counter that all she does is just check out books and just kind of does her own thing. And something in the basement that I don't know what it was. But I didn't tell Sandy anything about it. But Brian's got, I didn't bring it with me, but I wanted Sandy, since she couldn't be here, to what she felt. And I didn't tell her what I was thinking, but I was kind of pointing at her and like, do you feel something here? Because I do that on occasion to her. And she kind of comes back with something similar. Did you say, Brian?
Yeah.
Yeah, just go ahead and read it.
Yeah, she said that she felt an older, more aggressive male downstairs in the basement. I feel like he doesn't come upstairs very often and won't really mess with anyone. There's an older woman, maybe in her 40s. She seems quiet and a bit timid. I also felt another man in his mid to upper 30s. He is more mischievous and curious. If anyone were to hear something in the library, I feel like it would probably be this man. I didn't feel anything dangerous or alarming like that.
So yeah, that was kind of interesting. I'm like, holy cow, it kind of matches up to what I was kind of thinking. And when Jen and I were coming, I don't know where in reference that would be, but like I told you, I saw that shadow underneath the women's bathroom. I don't know.
Second floor. It was right in front of
The
the
second floor. I guess walking down a little bit of a hallway there, is it?
Yeah.
Maybe or something? But you can kind of see the women's restroom and the men's. But at the bottom, you can see that there's clear light down there, like light coming in or the light from whatever. But we were just sitting there talking, going towards the checkout, and I saw somebody go across, and I'm like, Jen, can you just go in there and see if anybody's in there? And she's like, it's a one-room thing, because I thought, okay, well, maybe it's like a couple stalls, and she just went over to a different stall.
There was no one there.
There was no one there, so that was kind of weird unto myself. And I guess Angie had said something maybe about a lady that worked down there, maybe possibly. I don't know. But it's one of those, we had a great time. Hopefully, the people that came with us had a great time too. Hopefully, we can do it again with, more people. I don't got any more comments, and it was just a good time.